Now we're going to illustrate a different aspect of engaging. Its use when a patient is really angry or upset. There I was, a diabetes practitioner running a routine clinic, and he hit me with this explosive anger. And it was kind of doubly difficult because it wasn't just the clinic he was angry with, he was angry with me. And I wanted to raise the subject of lifestyle change, but boy, oh boy, I didn't get far into it before I realized there was another problem to tackle, a very angry patient. And I guess it might be useful to you to know what was going through my mind. Two things, right? One was engage and do nothing else. And secondly, I suppose from a technical point of view, reflect, reflect, reflect. See what you think. Okay, so Mr. Davis, you understand you're going to carry on taking your meds? Yeah?
Yeah. So if you just let us have the meds, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Davis, just 1 second. Do you mind if you just...
Go on then.
Okay, sorry, I appreciate that you're short of time.
No, you don't. No, I was waiting out there for half hour. You set the appointment time on a day that isn't convenient to me because it suits your clinic. Now I'm here, I'm on time, you're running late, and now you want to waste my time.
Okay, and you've made the effort to come down to the clinic today.
Yes, I bloody have.
Which you do, like I see from your record. You're a really good attender. You're a religious...
I'm really good attender. I'm really good at taking my meds. That's all I need. Let me go.
Yeah. Oh dear, fireworks. And I guess it might be helpful to say what was going through my mind. And you know, it wasn't just about engaging and using reflection. It was also the sense of keeping my mind uncluttered. Because if not, I could find myself getting upset. And I really did try to stay calm. So that was something else that I was saying to myself. But why do that? I guess because if I wasn't, I could find myself arguing back. Well, that's about the worst thing to do. But maybe making excuses, asking him politely if he doesn't mind me explaining, basically feeling defensive in the face of this anger. And that's what I tried really hard not to do. And we used to use the phrase rolling with resistance to describe this. And this is a pretty good example of it. And I must apologize for that because I suspect you've also waited in the waiting room.
Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Because you can't run a system on time, can you?
Right. Yeah, you come in here wanting to be treated like an individual, and I guess you get to feel a little bit like you're on a conveyor belt.
I don't come in here wanting to be treated. I come in here because you summons me. That's why I come in here.
Right.
If I could just drop a note through the door and you can give me a repeat prescription, that would suit me fine.
That's what you do, right. So whatever way you look at it, coming up to this clinic is not something you look forward to.
It's an interference. I manage all these things, all right? You're just wasting my time.
Right. And may I ask your permission to just give me a few minutes to chat here this morning?
Go on, I'm here now. Go on. Then.
It is your choice to be...
No, I'm here now. Let's get on with it.
Are you sure?
I've said yes, haven't I?
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to feel you're here under coercion, that's all. Okay.
Say what you got to say.
Okay. Tell me, how many years have you been coming up here? What's your story about with your diabetes?
Look it up on the computer. Yeah. Years. You know I've been coming. Well, actually, you don't know, do you? Because you've not seen you before. It's the first time you've been here. Is always another different bloody doctor.
Exactly. That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. I've worked in other clinics. I did look at your records, but to be honest with you, I didn't look at it carefully enough and count the years. That's what I just wanted to get a sense from you. What's it been like for you? How long have you been coming here, and what's your experience been like?
What, coming here?
Yeah.
Different doctor nearly every time. There was one about 5 years ago. She was lovely.
Right. So you appreciate it if you get to see the same person and
No, she listened to me. She knew I was in a hurry. She knew I hadn't got time to waste. And in fact, she'd been in my shop last week. Right. Or the week before, if you see what I mean.
I get it. Right. So you've had one good experience that you can recount.
She was part of a community. We're a community.
Right. And you felt that sense of connectedness. By this point, I had noticed that he's just starting to settle, and a very useful strategy to use when someone's angry or upset, or indeed actually with any patient, is to ask them for their story. And that's why I asked the kind of open question that I did. And this is helpful not only for sort of calming him down, but I get an incredible amount of information from the story. And he gets to feel more understood as I use reflection in the process. And what I also notice is that I might have a whole lot of questions in my mind to ask him, investigative questions, questions that might be on an assessment schedule. actually a lot of them just get answered if you let someone tell their story.
Well, yeah.
With her.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and here you come in and meet another complete stranger.
Yeah.
And can I ask you about your diabetes and how long you've been, you've had this condition?
Must be 20 years going on, I suppose. You lose track. Yeah, 1920s. But I've been taking the meds all the time.
Right.
I've been behaving myself. I gave up driving. Well, I gave up HGV because I couldn't anymore.
Right.
So now I'm just drive when I need to for work.
Right. So you were driving a heavy goods vehicle and you got diagnosed with diabetes quite a while back.
Yeah.
And you moved from that to driving a normal vehicle.
Well, I drove an ordinary car anyway. What I did was I opened a business, which is just perfect for someone with what I had.
Right, okay.
I opened a news agents, ciggies, sweets.
Yeah, right.
Temptation.
Okay. So you tell me that story with the hints of mischievous in your eye, because part of what happened there was that all the temptations were in front of you.
I told you that story because it always gets a laugh down the pub. That's why I told you that story.
Yeah. But the mischievous look was about these temptations were right in front of you every day.
Well, they were, aren't they? I mean, it's a pact of life. They're there.
Yes.
I'd rather eat a bar of chocolate from my shop than that diabetic rubbish that they sell,
Exactly. So this has been quite a long journey of 20 years. You made some adjustments. You stopped the heavy goods vehicle driving.
Yeah.
Then you moved into opening this newsagent's shop.
Yeah, long days, hard work.
Long days, hard work.
And no time to waste. Come on, you said this would be 5 minutes.
Well, I'm going to ask you for about 5 or 10 minutes here. Okay.
Oh, we're changing the rules already, are
They
we?
keep changing, my man, and so you have to stay sharp and awake with.
No, that I like. Come on, you go for it.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. That consultation was at the far end of the difficulty scale. I don't know about you, but I don't come across that all that often. But the point is that engaging can be used in all kinds of scenarios. That's the beauty of it. A couple of things stand out for me there. One is the value of a summary, of bringing everything together for him. And I was aware that I was going to do it. And I was actually logging up the things he was saying as he was going along and effectively preparing the summary while he was talking. So that's helpful. And I think it helped him to feel understood and on board and less angry. So the other thing that struck me was that I got into a mental state where I was just being myself. And I think that does help whatever the patient you're with. They appreciate that. And in Dave's case, this rough and ready guy, he appreciated me being authentic in the way that I was. And that's why we could end up laughing together. Everything else we're going to talk about in this course is founded on this critical process of engaging. In fact, I've come across situations where only engaging actually precipitates change in people. They really appreciate it. Imagine a scenario where you're not engaging with somebody. The consequences of that in healthcare and social care writ large are really serious. And here is a simple skill that is actually quite easy to get on top of with a bit of effort.